ended up going to jail at the age of, 17. I went to jail at 17. I met you. That's when I first saw you.
Was you 17 then?
Yeah, bro.
Just maybe 18 because you was an adult side by then.
No, bro. I saw you before that, innit? You was with in
Two-Face and that.
Yeah, that's when you came in, just had throw, and that time when you had a little madness inside the football. Remember that time?
Mm-hmm.
You were 17 then.
We don't need to go into the history of that one.
Sorry, yeah.
That's good. I need to hear that. Start bringing on these guys and bad guys. Well.
But you remember that you were 17 then when that happened, right?
I was 18 at that point, but I turned 18.
Because you went to Till, yeah.
Yeah, I was an adult side by then.
Yeah, you're right, you know. So
you would have just been 18 from there as well.
18, yeah. Yo, gee,
What prison was this?
27th.
This was Feltham.
April the 27th, 2007.
2007.
Yeah, April the 27th. Roughly, you was there with me, right?
Yeah.
Getting around June time.
Did you tell jail? Did you kind of like get along?
No, first time I was not on the same wing, but I saw it. I remember him. He was with another brother called Ahmed and a couple of next brothers. I used to see him and look at him. I could see the energy. He had a lot of energy. I said, yeah. And then I eventually...
Bad energy.
that good energy. Gave me confident energy. I'm like, yeah, this brother is real, man. And then after that, four years down the later, we end up seeing each other again. And that's when we bonded.
Okay, so at that time you didn't really bond. 4 years later, that's when...
Yeah, I only used to see him in the mosque.
Okay. Did you chat in the mosque or you didn't even...
No, we didn't know each other like that.
We didn't know each other. He was a couple of seats out, but I used to look at him and look at, there's a couple of brothers. And
okay.
Remember at that time as well, at that time, Feltham, that time, South was kind of
different,
massive in the prison. So you had like big names. So you can say we was the loudest crew at that time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We was definitely the loudest crew within that. So I guess...
And there's not even a lot of you.
There wasn't a lot of us now.
There's a handful.
Probably about 10 of us. There was Killer was there, Two-Face was there. Okay. There's a lot of people at that time in that prison.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So then after that, as that happened, I ended up getting sentenced. They gave me 30 months, do 15 months. I then ended up going to Rochester. When I went to Rochester, this is when, Labour, Gordon Brown was in charge. So we used to eat goods. Mm-hmm. So he used to feed us like animals. So we was getting big. I started getting bigger. So my ego's getting bigger, you know what I mean? There's no Salah, there's no Deen involved, so I'm just thinking I'm the man. I started just fighting and stuff like that. I remember I used to try, I used to recruit all the Somalian brothers. At that time, mostly, and in the acting area, it was only Somalians that I used to chill with. Only when I was young, when I was 12, 13, when they used to call me Bullet, them days there, that's when...
it was a mixed crowd.
Yeah.
Non-Somalis, basically.
Yeah, basically. So then I was like, I always got told as well, make sure you get me, look out for your people, man. Look out for your people. So every time we'll just come together, eventually we'll have at least 10, 12
Somalis from different ends or Somalis from
different ends, South, East London.
So this is prison now you're talking about?
Yeah.
So there's different areas in there.
So we come together. Do you know what I mean? And then we just try to hold each other down in a way, you know?
So and one thing, when you met Abdul Latif in the masjid, in Feltham.
Yes.
So that time, okay, you know what, you were praying and stuff. You kind of like had that inclination towards Deen, correct?
Yeah, because as in Imam Kabir, he taught me a few surahs.
Okay.
The surahs that I know right now, half of them, I learned it from him.
That first time?
Yeah.
16 years old?
Yeah, 17, 18. Yes, yeah.
Then the second time you went in again to Rochester 4 years later.
No, remember I was 18, so 19. I went back to Rochester. A year later, just under a year.
And that time, Salah, Deen, no?
Nah, that went out the window because really and truly, I was just going to Islamic classes just to get out of myself. You know, I know it's coming up, but I was learning though. But my intention was just let me get out of here. They'll let me not let. But obviously it's compulsory. They have to let you go.
If you ask for that.
Yeah, if you ask for that. So I was like, yeah, let me get out. And I was just learning. And plus, I met with a couple of brothers, Gili, a couple of next brothers, you know. And then, it was okay.
What was going through your mind deen-wise? Like, you know what, Allah, Islam, am I in the right place? Is my heart in the right place? Maybe I need to make some changes. Nothing.
None of that. That only kicked in on my last sentence, Imam. You know? Yeah, that's my last sentence. That's when I had enough, when all doors closed on me. You know, when all doors closed on me. And then, even then, when I was praying with my brother Sweeps, innit? I've got a good brother called Sweeps. That's who I was praying Fajr with. So he used to get up and we used to always pray. And I felt like I was the strongest at that time. Powerful. I was mentally, physically, emotionally strong. You know, but I didn't know this. I was at my prime at that time. Alhamdulillah, I was like 21 at that time, you know? So, yeah. So...
Interesting.
So when you was in prison, was there things that you learned? Did you kind of benefit from the time in prison? Because there's many people that go to prison that still come out benefiting from prison, whether it's university, whether it's a skill, whether anything like that. Is there anything that you thought?
I got my personal level 3 personal training certificate whilst I was in there, alhamdulillah. And that ended up helping me come out on the streets. I had hope. I had something to fall back on, at least. Before, I just thought I was going to go back, do the same thing again.
That's when you were 21, 22,
yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's when I was lucky to get into that course as well. It was a qadr, innit? You know what I mean? It was full. I spoke to the guy that's nicely. He let me on the course. Finished the course. As soon as I finished the course, I came out. They moved me to South East London. I was living in Woolly Road, next to Burgess Park, you know.
Wolof Road, yeah?
Yeah, Woolly Road, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
mashallah. Yeah, Woolly Road.
Left in the castle.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was living there in a bear hostel. So they banned me from the West London. Because once you do violence, you come out as a Mapper 2. I'm not sure if you...
Yeah. Mapper 1, Mapper 2.
Yeah, so I was a Mapper 2. So they banned me from the West London area. Now there's no hope. I ain't got no support. I ain't got no one that I know. So I'm just here myself. So it's just survival of the fittest. So I'm there. Hopefully there was a guy called Dwayne that worked at Fitness First. Fitness First. Yeah, back then we was called Fitness First. He worked there. I mentioned to him. I had a few things and certificates. Give me an opportunity. Gave me a little voluntary work. I was not even working. I was working for free. But he still gave me something to do. But eventually there was no consistency to it. So I got a bit sidetracked, you know? And then as soon as I got sidetracked, I started just partying, doing a lot of unnecessary, unbeneficial stuff. I was not even I was just partying. I was just living for that moment. You know, I didn't think about tomorrow, you know. I was just thinking at this time, maybe because I was coming from a hurt place, you know, maybe because I didn't have a goal, maybe because I didn't have a vision.
Role model.
Yeah, get me? Yeah, no, it's not even a role model. I didn't have a vision of what I wanted to do in life, so I'll maybe just do all these things just to distract me, you know, on the real life. And when I wake up in the morning, that's when reality kicks in.
Yeah.
You know? And then from there, as that gone along, a lot of things just started just going downhill, man. I lost my best friend, I learned Hadith store, in prison, you know?
What happened to him?
He died in his sleep.
In prison he died?
Yeah.
How old was he?
26 years old. Yeah, good brother, man. He was my good friend. I learned Hadith store. And then he just died in his sleep. And the reason why that affected me and it hit me the most is because I was with him 2 weeks before he went into prison. And me and him, we didn't even spend too much time together. Because he was out there doing his thing. I was out there lost, you know? I was lost in it. I'll be honest with you, I was a lost youth in it. You know what I mean? And then from there, and he was just doing his thing. He was in the dunya, doing whatever he was doing. And then somehow we ended up coming together. In the last 2 weeks before he went to the jail, he used to stay in my house. And it felt like the old days. And I said, yo, bang, we used to go there. And one day he went somewhere. I went with him. And then I'm like, yo, I'm going back home. Come, let's go, bro. And he's saying to me, no, I'm going to chill. I'm going to link you tomorrow. I'm going to buy a car. Boom. And then I'm going to link you. I'm going to come pick you up. I'm going to go. We're going to link up, innit? Cool. Clean-hearted brother. No one ain't got nothing bad to say about this brother. So these times now, obviously I went home. That house that he went in got raided. He was wanted for like a year and a half. So he was wanted for a year and a half. So I was looking for him. And then he went jail. And then 2 weeks down the line, he was coming out in 6 weeks. He'd done 6 years already in jail. He went in there for 6 weeks. He didn't last for 2. And he was
it natural though?
Natural. That's what they said, allegedly. You know what I mean? He was 6'3", healthy, strong guy. Allah.
So you mentioned Woolly Road. You came into South London now. Alhamdulillah, a lot of reverts, a lot of brothers. Did you link up with any non-Somali Muslims that, okay, you know what, kind of like assisting you, guiding you, maybe in a positive, maybe even in a negative? Or did you keep yourself to yourself?
I used to duck from man.
Okay.
I was not even on the same. The Shaitan had man in some different type of way. Imam, like I used to duck. When I see a brother who's with a kufi or something like that, I'd be like, rah. I don't know. I used to get intimidated in a way. Like I'd be like, whoa, no. Like he's gonna end up lecturing me. Like we're not going to see eye to eye. Obviously, just bear a lot of viscious in it. You know, trying to make me not even. Yeah.
There is that concept though, isn't it? Like a lot of people and I don't know what it is, but a lot of people in those days, if you see someone maybe practicing, and that's literally the whole point of the bridge. The whole point of this bridge that we've come up with, the bridge, is to bridge that kind of gap. So, for example, you seeing a practicing person thinking, oh, let me duck away from him. It's to say, no, let me go and chat to him. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, indeed.
Hopefully he doesn't judge you. Hopefully he doesn't lecture you for long. But lecturing is seen as a bad thing, and sometimes it's done in the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what
it
to mention
is.
as well.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
It's like they're coming with a judgmental to put you down. Put you in, you know what, fear Allah.
Yeah.
Rather than, okay, you know what, Assalamu alaikum, akhi. You okay?
Put your trousers up. Put your trousers up. Brother, that's the last thing right now we need to be talking about folding your trousers up. I know it's sunnah.
100%.
I'm sure there's bigger things that we need to be talking about right now.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And I believe the fact is, like people, you know, if there's brothers from practicing areas, alhamdulillah, there's no one perfect. If you're practicing and you know there's a bear hostel there, and you know there's a hostel there, and you know there's people hanging around there, you should have some sort of connection with that manager in that vicinity to know who's coming out into society, and if you can help them, get them some work, do some. If you want to give back to the
support.
community.
Yeah, you're right, 100% right. And also, look, the approach. You mentioned the approach. You know, it's like okay, the practicing brother. Yeah, this is what people think, or how sometimes they act. He don't smile. He looks angry. He looks upset. So he looks intimidating. You know what? I don't even want to approach this guy. Rather than the sunnah of the person is what? He's smiling.
Smile.
So it's a smiling brother passes you by, and you can tell, you know what, generally speaking, okay, Somali's 100% Muslim.
Yeah.
So whoever it is, he sees you, he's going to know this brother's a Muslim. Assalamu alaikum, akhi. You okay? What's your name? And you build a little relationship. And then if you need assistance, bismillah, you know. So that, I think, again, it comes down to, you know, not your side being negative.
The so-called practicing.
Yeah, from their side, not being able to outreach brothers and support.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, there's brothers that's outspoken, because I'm an outspoken person. I can speak to anyone, understand? So if there's brothers that are good in different places, like right now, Abdul Latif, like, you're not a person to go up to someone and just talk to them randomly. That's not your forte. Your forte is that right now you got a construction company, you got that. So it's my job to, like, all right, cool, I speak to the person, you give the job, because you've got a construction job, whatever, or you give him an opportunity, and from there, everyone plays their position.
Everyone plays their position.
He's a resilient leader. He just says, look, bring him to me, and I will show him the way I am the leader.
I'll whip him, man. Well, no, 100%. I think that's a very big problem, hence why we started a podcast, which is
Mashallah.
There's a notion that if you are practicing, there is no wrong that you can do. And I think you project that onto the world. You project it onto the world that so-called practicing people don't make no mistakes, because people don't see your mistakes, but your mistakes are hidden from everyone else apart from Allah. At home, you might be rude to your wife. You might beat your kids. You might smoke. You might watch certain stuff that you shouldn't be watching. There are things you do in a hidden world that no one else sees, you understand? And so even yesterday we was chatting, he rang me and he was like, yeah, man, someone rang up on
Universal TV, Somali,
yeah, and said, oh, you know, why you got a tattoo and things like this. And I was saying, Akhi, it's like the people calling, you'd think they're Angel Jibril, you know? As if they have no sins. The first thing that comes to their brain is, look at what he's doing wrong. But you haven't even thought to yourself, what's the process of this person's life to where he is today? Do you get what I'm trying to say to you?
It's like what the Corleone said. Some people are telling him, okay, music, this, and judging him. He's a rapper, a local brother. And he said, look, it's the same brothers. They're listening to it, though. So, you know what? It's that over-judgmental that people come with, rather than look also at the, okay, he got a tattoo. He's got it. You know, that's also past. But look at what else he's doing. Inspire4Change. Yeah.
And that's what I believe, I'm not, obviously, I've been around the Somali community a lot. But what we tend to do, we tend to focus on the negativity of that person. But let's uplift, at least, if you can see one good thing in that person, make sure you make that outshine the negative stuff. So at least it uplifts that person and he can grow more positive stuff in himself.
Don't even bring up the negative.
Don't bring up the negative. Even when it's a sister, don't bring up the fact that she ain't got a head chair. Bring the fact that she's got at least a master's. She's learnt something. She's got ilm, you know? That can come later if that's, you get me? That can come later, but let her focus on that. Don't worry if you see her in a shisha and shot. At least she looks after her mum. How do you know she don't look after mum? How do you know she don't pay bills? Think about the positives.
Hadith Qudsi, where the Prophet spoke about a person who said, Wallahi, Allah will not forgive such and such a person. So the person said, Allah Ta'ala said, who is this person who's taken an oath by name and saying, is not going to forgive this person. So this person who's saying is apparently a righteous person, and the other one is sinful. So the Messenger of Allah said that Allah Ta'ala said, I forgive that person all of his sins, and I destroy or make void the good action that this person has done.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah. So good deeds are to make you humble, not to make you arrogant. And even, one of the scholars of the past, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he said a person does a misdeed, a bad deed, goes to Jannah. A person does a good deed, but goes to Jahannam. The good deed makes him or her arrogant. The bad deed makes that person humble. So it's about it's internal spirituality. Yeah.
Seriously,
we get it wrong, man. We get it wrong, bro.
SubhanAllah,
We get it wrong sometimes.
Yeah,
And that's why and sometimes that's why you see the worst of sinners become the best of spiritual people because they've seen so much evilness in life. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They're willing to overlook someone else's wrongdoings or be a bit more patient with that. Why? Because they've been through that. Umar radiallahu anhu, we keep talking about him regularly from the Islamic perspective, was a very bad person Islamically. But then when he became a Muslim, he became one of the most important people in history until today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say to you, Akhi? So
he got buried next to the Prophet.
Of course. Became best friends with him.
Yeah. I see it.
This is the point, Akhi. So I think that's the concept we need to try to teach, man. That comes with knowledge as well. Not necessarily a knowledge that people think that you need to gain, like just you need to memorize the whole Quran and you think you're a practicing Muslim. But the spiritual side of Islam, I think personally, is definitely something that is far lacking. And we have a concept of, only Sufi so-called people are the spiritual Muslims. No, the Sunnah is balanced. You can be physical and you can be spiritual. You need to find the balance between the two.
Do you know what
I'm trying to say to you? And that's what we need to try to do with this kind of meeting, other kind of meetings. And for the youngsters to see, Islam is a balanced way of life.
Yeah,
man. You can see from your life, you can see from Corleone's life, you can see from Stink's life, from all the other guys that have come to us, that when you live a particular life, you don't find joy or harmonious lifestyle from that. You only find it when you are praying salah. You're doing goodness. You're around good people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say to you, that's the whole point of why we do these videos. Is to enlighten. It's not to promote the prison days it's just to give the insight into how the life has changed step by step by step.
And bridging with, Guled, Inspire4Change, bridging with different communities, different Muslims from different ends, and see how we can kind of like support the next generation of youngsters. That's the kind of idea behind it. But Guled, so 21, 22, you went into prison again after that?
22, 23.
You were 21, 22 when you...
And then I ended up...
You came into Woolly Road, you said?
I came to Woolly Road when I was 23.
23.
Remember, I got my certificate when I was 21.
Yeah.
And then I came out, alhamdulillah, 23 years old. As soon as I came out, 23 years old, I was lost a bit. Lost. I met up with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put the bleepers on now.
Woof, bleep. Lie. Headache. As I say, it felt like it was sweet at the beginning. It ended up turning bitter.
Muslim, non-Muslim?
Non-Muslim.
Yeah.
But she gave me the impression that she wanted to be Muslim. She said, I don't mind. A couple of days she was trying to wear a scarf inside the house just to make me feel like I'm getting somewhere. But it was all a lie. It was all a lie. Obviously, my heart was not there. What I was doing, what she would do is not completely there. One thing led to another. Like, it was just in some toxic thing. Like, fast forward, she ends up stabbing me. Like, she stabbed me. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm still with her. I've been stabbed by this female. I'm still saying I love her. Do you know what I mean? I'm just confused.
That's domestic violence to a man now.
Yeah, but that didn't get outlined. I got put in jail for no reason. She put me in jail. She's put me in jail because she had a fight with another female. And the fact, because I did back her, we had to end up having an argument. Fast forward, police end up coming to the property. The marks that she had from the female, she said, I did it to her. And that's it. Went jail, got recalled. That's where I went Woods. And then and L. And then these times, as I saw them, I was in there because I was on recall now.
Okay.
You know how when you're on a recall, they're holding you for parole. The case got thrown out after 2 months, but they're still holding me for parole. I've got a lady sitting in front of me telling me, you hit females. I said, I got found. There's no case, but the paper says you hit females. But I ain't got a leg to stand on. Swallowed my pride, swallowed my hand, kept it now. I said, just kept patient. 10 months down the line, came out, and that's when the transition had to happen.
25 years old?
24.
Okay. So you've come out 24 and now you said, you know what, things need to happen, things need to change.
Yeah, but I said it to myself, but I still didn't take the action. So I was still mingling, you know. But when I got to the ages of like 26, that's when I said to myself, you know, and the only reason I started waking up, because every single door around me started closing, Imam. Every single door, like I felt like my family didn't want me no more. I felt like my brothers didn't want me. I felt like nobody wanted me. Like I'll tell you a situation where I started getting close to my deen now, yeah? And obviously I'm not gonna outline the mosque or the masjid it happened, but it was a masjid in my area in West London, yeah? I got diagnosed with tuberculosis, TB in my lungs. So now I'm trying to, obviously I'm practicing, alhamdulillah, my iman's getting strong in it, yeah? I'm practicing, but then I end up being homeless. I've got TB now, innit? I'm homeless. I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do? So I went to this mosque now. And this is where it comes to where someone had to go through something like Umar bin Khattab to understand the experience and stuff. So I've gone to this young man. He's meant to be an imam of the mosque. I said to him,
not South London, not me, yeah?
no,
We're not naming no names.
No names, even culture, culture, nothing. Get me? So anyway, fast forward, I spoke to this young man. I said to him, I'm homeless, I've got TB right now. He looked me in my eye and I wanted him to feel my pain. Wait, listen, I need to speak to the assistant managers and stuff like that, but I don't know about that one. I'm like, yeah. How? I think, how? This don't make no sense in my mind. I'm thinking, this is not comprehending. I'm thinking, but then I realised, like, this young man that's in front of me, he's never been through nothing probably in his life.
He doesn't understand
how can he feel my pain?
Mm.
He's a good brother. He may pray. He may be doing things. Don't worry, may Allah bless him for everything he's done. But he may not have experienced what I've been through. So he wouldn't understand what I've been through. So I feel I forgive him for everything. But then I end up coming out of that place. I end up being homeless. That's when I end up going to a local mosque, Acton, Al-Noor Masjid. They let me in. They said, cool. I slept there for a couple of days. After that, went to the council, sorted myself out, started getting the ball rolling, and alhamdulillah, man. Yeah, man.
That was the first step to kind of changing.
Yeah, it was kind of, at first, it's kind of hard because the shaitan will pressure you and then start bringing certain things for you towards your way. And I could have hated the deen at that time. But I knew the deen is perfect, but people hate. You know, I know people make mistakes. Like, if I said to myself, you know what, this deen is a joke, bro. Stuff like this is a joke. Like, how's my man running the whole situation and he's treating me like that? These men are not serious. I go about my business. I could have gone back into that lifestyle, but then I said to myself, let me take time in it. You know, because I loved it. I loved the feeling. I loved the passion. I loved the fact when I used to pray. I loved the contentment that I felt after each time I prayed. You know, and I loved going to the classes. I started listening to tafsir. Tafsir is my favorite.
MashaAllah.
I love the stories. You know,
The Quran.
Yeah, the Quran. Yeah, and stories of the Quran, the prophets, what they've been through and stuff like that. And I've listened to the tafsir. Then we went into fiqh. Then when it went into a lot of things, then we started learning, alhamdulillah.
And again, just on the point of going to the mosque and the imam kind of shutting you out, I think it links. We always say this story. I think this is probably the first time we said it, about the guy who killed 99 people, you know? And we've heard this in how many times in prison.
Yeah.
You know, the imams always repeat this story so many times.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It's powerful. It links to when you're trying to change and someone you're trying to ask for help, guidance, and who's meant to be in a position of more knowledge than you and is meant to be a abid, a practicing person, in essence pushes you away, you know? And that's what basically happened to you. Or it could have even happened to you, but it didn't necessarily happen to you in that essence.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, where do you, as an imam, obviously, do you think there should be like a traineeship or some form of how to deal with the public? Do you know what I'm trying to say, imam? Because I don't even know what hadith there was, but there's a hadith that talks about like, or not a hadith, Ali radiallahu anhu. And he says like, would you be a person who through your mouth or your actions pushes people away from Islam? You know? And I think sometimes some imams or even some people of particular knowledges push youngsters away due to, you know, like similar to this, someone's coming to you for advice and help and it's like, well, we can't do nothing for you.
The reminder I gave after Isha last night about, you know, brothers not smiling. And I said, look, why are some brothers angry? Do you want a non-Muslim to come inside to the masjid, or a younger Muslim first time coming and just seeing angry people that you don't want to smile at them, give them salam and so on? But I think Guled hit it on the head. He's like, the brother, didn't feel his pain or experience what he went through
So I can't
to
blame
understand, to say, look, you know what, okay, I know where you're at. Bismillah, akhi, come. I'll try and help you and support you. It might be, look, the masjid can't, you know what, he can't sleep in the masjid, but okay, I'm going to find you somewhere to sleep. So that he's not completely lost on his own. So that's something that we kind of like, the Muslim community needs to kind of take ownership of and learn, inshallah.
Yeah, my angle is just like the people that we put in positions of power maybe need to be a bit more understanding of their community.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's all it is. Because any other person, I don't think you would have taken it too seriously. You wouldn't have necessarily gone to a person in a high street and say, come help me. But because you felt the person was at a mosque.
I thought because it was like the main man of the spot. And he would have said, exactly as the Imam was saying, is that, you know what, I wanted him to at least tell me, don't worry, bro. That somehow you're going to find something tonight. And that's going to be, and that's what you call brother love, man.
Yeah.
How can you sleep tonight knowing that brother ain't got nowhere to sleep? That's not real, man. I don't care who you are. You can't say that's real. No way.
That's something that has to be worked on. And this is the point where we're having things like this. We need to do more things like that. Of course, you can't make everyone sleep in a mosque, but at least some form of outreach. Even 5 minutes just to sit with a person and say, okay, you know what? Tell me what's going on, man. You know what I mean? Just 5 minutes even to listen to the person.
Even you could just get the mic. Sorry to interrupt. You can get the mic and say, Salaam alaikum, brother. There's a situation with a brother. I don't want to name his name. If you guys want to donate and put £5 together, at least get a hotel for the meantime. Do something. But obviously, he hasn't got that experience, that life experience to at least think out of the box. This is where the role, exactly this podcast, this is where it's really needed. Because some people that have been through stuff, that have been through jail, that have been through care system, that have been abroad and stuff like that, they need to have that connection with the mosque so they can sit down with these people and let them understand the pain.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, like a lot of brothers that kind of like might come out of prison. And he's kind of like, sometimes he goes, look, man, he's sending me too many brothers. But any brother that comes out,
I told him, my company should be called the Convict Building Construction, I think. The amount of people come.
If that thing gets a deal,
Imam rang me, Imam, give me your number. I said, yeah.
But the good thing is, he takes them on. There's some brothers that, they just developed and they started off with no skill. They're electricians, they're carpenters, they're plumbers. Just development. Alhamdulillah, look, let's say, okay, he's one construction company. We had 30 in South London. We had 10 in East London. We had 10 in North London. We had 10 in West London. All of these brothers get support and work and training. That's kind of like bridging and progressing. So that's what we got to, kind of like, inshallah, look at, inshallah. Because look, problems, there's so many problems. We got to start looking for solutions. I think that's also your Inspire4Change, That's your kind of like, you want to inspire people to change and progress.
Yeah, man.
Breakfast with Guled. That's what he does. Breakfast with Guled early in the morning.
Wab. No etiquette. Where's the etiquette? I don't know, but I think I'm going to learn that. Don't worry, inshallah, I'm going to learn that. It's going to come.
But this is what I'm saying. I couldn't do it. But him, because, and this is what you don't seem to realize, see the same way whatever problems you went through has also become a baggage on you. That same experience has also allowed you to be who you are as well. If that makes sense.
You don't watch Face.
This is my point.
I don't watch Face. You catch me on the bus, top deck, on the back of the bus. Who am I? 30?
The guy's got a Jewish friend. He's got like
I got
random people.
Yeah,
the
man.
Sahaba, same thing, isn't it? Did Sahaba go through experiences before they became Muslims? Some crazy experiences, burying their daughters alive. Yeah, and look what they became afterwards. And also, did they kind of like worry about what people have to say? If this is the truth and this is me, then this is me. Confidence.
Sorry, Imams, I shouldn't interrupt you, but it hurts when it comes from people that you love. People that you actually stick your head out for, like people like your Muslim people, and you look at them and you're thinking, I'm out here for you. How are you trying to put me down? Do you know what I mean? And
you mean now that you're practicing or you're trying to practice?
It's not even practicing when you're trying to do something positive for the community.
But you know what that is? That is sometimes, it's what you call hasad. Jealousy.
You reckon?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think
it's like, you know what? Okay, this brother's doing something positive. He started to shine. And this one brother sent me some Dave Chappelle, something that he like a statement he makes. That look, Cowards try to bring heroes down. The Prophet is trying to succeed. The sideliners who don't want succession and progress for anybody, they start hating and having hasad and trying to bring the person down. The person who is sincere doesn't worry about what people have to say. Work needs to be done. That's it. I'm going to inspire people for change. Bismillah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just keep going. Keep going. Yeah. But it gets jarring sometimes. But I know, to the point where I know when that happens, every time something happens or you get pressured or some sort of barrier or some sort of blockage comes into your life, I end up realising that this is just only there to mould you and shape you into the person that you want to become. It makes you stronger, you know? Because I do believe, but sometimes I get, my iman gets weak, and I know Allah, like he will make things come out of nowhere, and he will make people that you didn't even expect to support you. And the people that you thought was going to support you are going to watch these people support you, and they're going to feel in a type of way. I'm thinking, why didn't I help this person, or why did I believe in this person? And obviously, you forgive people because people make mistakes. They're only human beings. You understand? You just move on.
But then you realise when you're really at the top, everybody wants to be your friend. You really succeed, then you know what?
I don't want to know no one.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't want to know no one. I'll be honest. I don't want to know nobody then. The people that I don't want now. The people that even people that I reach out to, or it's not even because I want anything. It's just because I'm so passionate about what I want to do. The people that I reach out to, they don't reach back. I'll be like, one day that person that's I'm trying to reach out to, the time when they reach out to me, I don't even want that reach. It's gone past that element, you know. But alhamdulillah.
I would say in that, not trying to be controversial, but that's when you be better than that person, akhi. You understand?
And then you bring them in.
You bring them in. I don't even bring up that. I try to reach out to you. I'll bring you in, akhi. If I'm in a position of power, I'll give you whatever I can give you. If I can't give it to you, at least I'll reply and say, you know what, akhi, I can't do it. Do you get what I mean? I get what you mean.
Two wrongs don't make it right.
100%. I get what you mean, though. When you're trying to reach out for goodness, you would hope. Because you're not trying to gain nothing from them.
If I was on wickedness thing now, and I put on a belly and I started rapping and that, woo!
Yeah, I know.
People start singing in alarms. I'm thinking, be real. What do you mean? Like, be real. Like, look,
but you're saying be real to people who are not real. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you?
And I'm not acting like I'm real, bro. There's certain things about me that is fake. I know myself, innit? Like, there's certain flaws that I know that I need to fix, but I own my flaws. Everyone knows my flaws. I put it up and say, you know what? This is what I do. So they don't hold it against me. But I know I need to work on it. I make dua, so Allah, give me, fix a bit of my character. Maybe the way I speak, maybe it comes across a bit aggressive, but that's never in my intentions. It's
One point you mentioned is bring them in. So it's a hadith, the Prophet I'm speaking in his masjid about a man who will enter and will be from the people of Jannah. So a man enters dripping of wudu and he's carrying his sandals. The next day, the Messenger of Allah said the same thing. The same man enters. Third day, he said the same thing, and the same man enters. So one of the companions, I think his name Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, wanted to know what's special about this guy. So he made an excuse to spend some time with him. He spent about 3 nights or a few nights, and they didn't see him doing anything special, like, praying in the night, tahajjud. He will turn and make dua, but nothing extra. So he told him, look, I don't see you doing anything extra, but the Messenger of Allah said this about you, that you'll be from the people of Jannah. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said this about you. So the man said, look, this is me. Yeah, I don't do anything extra, but this is me. But it's probably because I don't have any ill feelings or hasad or rancor for another Muslim. So I think that's it. If somebody wants to outreach and benefit and come in, Bismillah.
Is it only for Muslim or for anyone?
That particular hadith only for
Muslim. Can I have hatred for someone else?
No, look.
Obviously, sorry, I don't know why I asked you that.
No, alhamdulillah.
I just thought, you know what I mean?
You mean hatred towards Muslim or...
No, I say, because that man is, because he didn't have no hatred towards Muslims.
Oh, okay.
It was the fact, what about if he had hatred towards a
non-Muslim
or Christian?
Okay, it's an important point, Akhi. And that's, the bridge, our focus is the Muslim community. The reason being, that's our first wala, Akhi. That's our people now. Yeah, and I was going to ask you something about the Somali community. Did you have any kind of like beef within the Somali youngsters? But maybe. But look, mercy and love for all. Because Allah, the Prophet, what did Allah say about him? وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةِ الْعَالَمِينَ. It's a mercy for everyone. But firstly and foremostly, we start with the believers. And then we bring khair to everybody else. But there's a special attachment we have
100%.
within our own Muslim community and so on. Yeah, and that's kind of like bridge. It's with others as well. But the focus is kind of like within our
Muslim
own
community
Muslim community.
first.
Yeah.
And there's a young man, sorry, because even that, because I do positive stuff, but at the same time, I highlight my Islam, the Deen. You know what I mean? I get a couple of people reaching out to me. I say, you know what, Guled?
Yeah.
I want to convert. Guess what I say to them? I say, you know what? Buy that book, and buy that book. Once you read that, tell me how you feel about it afterwards.
MashaAllah.
I don't want to put man into the, like, I don't want, because I don't want him to end up bumping into someone in the mosque that's going to make him hate the religion, bro. Because you get me? Like, you have to at least learn. Because if you don't have a bit of knowledge, at least to go into the mosque, anything anyone says to you, they can throw you off it.
True.
So I say, you know what? Go and protect yourself a little bit.
Understand your deen before you meet.
A little bit. Just understand it. And if you feel like something, and at least when someone comes to you and they mention something to you, at least you've read something that's positive about the deen. And I just left them on that note.
No, that's good advice.
Just that point which I mentioned. So within the Somali community, Somali youngsters, here, South London, Lewisham, Woolwich and so on. At a time, it was like the Somali community was together. Yeah, meaning Somali boys, that's it. They're a jama'ah, they're together and so on. Later on, problems arose and stuff. But you growing up, did you kind of like have this thing, you know what? Okay, these are Somalis, cool. They've got my back, I've got my back, and I'm not troubling them. They're not troubling me. Yeah? And the second one, Muslims as well. Yeah? So anything...
Me personally, wallahi, billahi, the only people that have actually done me wrong in life is Muslims. And that's the sad, and it may be even Somali Muslims. Reason being, because I let them in.
Okay.
I got comfortable with them. I showed them my love, my affection and stuff like that. And once you show people your love and your affection, sometimes they take that as a weakness. And they feel like they can...
From a road perspective?
Yeah, from a road perspective, And yeah, so, because I would never... It's like I was really close with my Somalians, And then I realised once I started getting weak, once I started going through my certain life when I started struggling in life, and then life started challenging me and pressuring me, that's when people they're like, you know what, now he's weak. Instead of bringing your brother up and making him stronger, they were like, you know what, I used to know this guy used to be strong, but now he's weak. Let me just stamp him up a bit, you get me? Because I don't want him to outshine me or be stronger or be a more alpha male. And I think it's, it's really sad, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And that's like it in a lot of areas. It's not just my area. I can name a lot of areas, Camden, Tottenham, a lot of areas that this is happening where their own people have oppressed them.
Why do you think that is the case, though?
Because they got too comfortable. But when they won't get comfortable, they won't go run up in an African, Caribbean, non-Muslim, but in non-African Caribbean behalf, because they know that there may be consequences after that. But because they got so close to certain people, they may do certain things. They may even try to rob that Somali brother for his watch. Maybe rob that person for his watch. And it's like that in the Pakistani community. A lot of community, we get too comfortable with each other too early, but we won't take that energy to other people.
But you're basically saying you get away with way too much within your own people.
Yeah, man, way too much. And it even comes with the sisters. I'm smart, and even because I'm talking about Somali sisters. A Somali brother only will violate a Somali sister. But if a Colombian or Brazilian sister girl come, they won't violate her. They'll try to treat her like a queen. Why? Because she's given that leverage already. Because you got too comfortable with your sister, you think you can violate her now.
How do we address that? How do we change that?
First, what you need to do, the people that have been affected, they need to be, reached out to first. And say, you know what, like obviously people make mistakes and stuff like that. And once they know that, there's other people out there that actually care about them and do understand where they're coming from, then that's when a few people can step up and start showing love and showing exactly how a man's meant to treat a woman, or a man's meant to respect a woman, or because it gets to a point where now, there's a lot of bickering, and there's no respect. And there needs to be respect there, and yeah, hope that answered the question a bit.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
I think moving forward, because we can be here for hours,
Okay.
and we've done a lot, so straight to it now. Inspire for Change.
Okay.
How did it start? What was the mind process?
Inspire for Change, the mind process was, and it was just, got to the point, obviously, I connected with my dean. So my Imam was high, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, it was high.
Is that when you went Hajj? Because we didn't speak about that as well.
Oh, yeah, I went Umrah, yeah.
Before Inspire for Change?
Yeah.
Okay.
How old were you when you went for Umrah?
Last year, February.
Last year. MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I've done Umrah for my dad as well.
Allahu Akbar.
Again, me, alhamdulillah. So that was, I felt like I achieved something, you know? Alhamdulillah. So once I done that, come back, obviously, I come back the last day, the Haram, when they closed the Haram, that was the last day. COVID kicked in.
Before the lockdown and stuff.
The COVID kicked in on that day.
Okay.
They locked it off on that day. I was like, alhamdulillah. I kept it. Let's go. Alhamdulillah. So, yeah, that came to what Inspire for Change, Inspire for Change came from like prior 2 years before February, so around 2019. I think 2018. That's when Inspire for Change come. I met up with a Somali Community. They knew I came out of prison. Come do some talks at our place. From there, I met a couple of sisters. One of the sisters said, you know what, this name's amazing, you know. I said, yeah.
You already had the name then?
They had it, but they didn't do nothing with it. She just had it, but I don't want to do nothing with it. I said, but because I like the sister, I said, you know what, let me take the name. I'll make it shine.
Anything for the love, eh?
Yeah, anything for the love. I said, I'm the man for it. I will change that. I'll make that team go up.
No.
And from there, it's went up. Again, she's in Kenya now.
Okay.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, man. Allah bless her.
Is that also, are you, in terms of work and stuff, is this business related as well? Or is that something separate? Are you doing anything in terms of business and work?
Work-wise, I go around and I do a couple of talks for kids in care.
Okay, good.
So alhamdulillah, I've got a good brother called Hassan Sufi. He owns a tuition centre in Hayes. Alhamdulillah, really good brother, school teacher, I don't know about it. Married brother, alhamdulillah, he helped me out. And then I sorted out, I made a limited company now. And then from there, obviously he's a teacher in the school, so he got me my first check to get that. Got the ball rolling from there, plus my personal trainer. I was working for Pure Gym for a bit.
Okay.
So as I was doing that, but I felt like I was paying them £700 a month rent, plus travel, because where I had to travel to, I'm thinking, nah, this is all long. It's taking too much of my energy. And that's when I started my YouTube channel. So I started putting my energy into my YouTube channel, and from there, I started doing my podcasts, and from there, alhamdulillah, man.
How many subscribers now on your YouTube channel?
20,000.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, you know what I mean? It's 9 months, 10 months, you know. And you're just going to go up, and from there, the whole aim of Inspire for Change for now, I just want to, alhamdulillah, I just want to go everywhere, man, and just let people hear my voice and talk, and inshallah, obviously, settle down as well. That's the main thing, you know what I mean? You never know. Tomorrow's never promised, you know what I mean?
Married yet, yeah?
Nah, man, I'm not married
man,
yet.
he's smirky, look at him, not married yet.
I said, what? He said, he got
I have 20 people in my book list.
But yeah, obviously, marriage is a big thing, man, because marriage, I need it to be, alhamdulillah, it'll keep you balanced, you know? And there's too much distractions out here, especially because now there's a lot of eyes on me and stuff like that. You never know who's got the right intentions, you know? So, yeah. So marriage is one thing that I'm going to listen. Go back home as well, inshallah. Make a chat.
Have you been back again from the first time you went when you were about, was it 14, 15? Did you go again?
Yeah, I went back a couple of times. I went back by myself. Don't know, man. It was crazy out there. It was just crazy. I started just resentment. It's just a lot of resentment because there's no plan. It's just, I'm out there. You know what I mean? There's no structure. Just live out there. I'm just wasting time. It felt like prison in a way. An open prison, you know? Get me? It felt like that because I didn't have no plan. The only thing that happened was whilst I was there, I just kept committing more and more sins, do more and more things, and I didn't learn nothing. And I just come back empty. And I'm thinking, what was the point of me going there in the first place? And from there, I'm hungry for money now. Because in Africa, it's just dollar. So I'm going back there thinking, I need money. And that's when people get trapped into that circle again. You know?
No.
So, yeah.
I think finishing off then, it's like, so that Inspire for Change, you want to obviously push it as a business. At the same time, obviously,
I've got charity as well.
It's a charity at
It's
the
a
same
charity.
time.
I've got a couple of charities. and there's a few charities, but my main charity is for people that come out of prison just like myself, who, you know what I mean, don't have no support, don't have no family structure or anything like that
I see
in
you
place.
put that guy in.
Yeah, that's another brother I met on the train. His name's Faisal. Obviously, I met him. He asked me for £1, and then I was like, you know what? I've got 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm sure if you want to change, bro, I will help you change. Alhamdulillah, by the will of Allah, managed to raise £7,000 for him.
MashaAllah.
Bam, and then now he's going in. He was meant to go in there. They discharged him. Unfortunately, because they're saying, he was becoming aggressive and stuff like that, they thought they could take the money, but they didn't know I had 20,000 subscribers behind me. Mate, got these people to call them up. They're like, nah. We want him to come back next week. So, alhamdulillah, he's going to be back in there, inshallah. And inshallah, he gets what he wants and becomes on a straight path. And he's 40-year-old who's got 2 daughters. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, he needs a second chance, innit? And with that, and inshallah, this year, I can speak.
I think that's a unique thing you do, though. And I say it to you, obviously, privately as well and publicly, that you don't see a lot of people that have a platform, alhamdulillah, your one's still growing, that use their platform to make money, and that money goes to people who actually need it and not take nothing from it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I've made nothing from my platform.
Of course, this is what I'm trying to say. It's a very unique position. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And may Allah bless it, may Allah make it grow, may Allah make it something successful. So when you pass away, that's something that's stamped on your name. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That in itself is a medal that you can hold up. Wallahi. And I say publicly that sometimes people don't realise the things you don't even put a lot of, emphasis on, and you don't even think is important, is the things that Allah sees important.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Like we talk about the woman, it's time for Salah soon, the woman who gave the cat, and the woman, I always forget which one.
The dog who gave the water.
The one there's a story of a dog and there's a story of a cat.
Oh, sorry.
You feed the animal and that enters her into Jannah. So sometimes the smallest things, according to you, look small, but to other people, to that brother there, that's massive. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Especially if he goes through that system and becomes a better person, hopefully becomes stable, marries, all of that comes under your name. Inshallah. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Man.
So that's something you should keep pushing, and definitely, inshallah, that succeeds, man.
Ameen, man. Inshallah, man.
I think finishing off then is just...
One question I had, because I'm looking at his arm, man.
Man, you got me.
Any?
He's the caller that called into Universal.
That was me, yeah.
It was like you. No, why would you do? Why would you do?
So I wanted to ask, because it says loyalty towards family.
Loyalty is family.
Is family. Yeah, reasoning behind it.
Mm.
It's just, you know what, it's just whispers, you know. You know what, everyone goes through things in life, in family. Everyone in their family, they got problems and stuff like that. The shaitan will make you think that you got entitlement for people to help you. No one is not entitled to help you out here, you know. Obviously, family is family, innit? But I wrote down, say, loyalty is family. So whoever comes, like, loyalty is family, innit? Abdullah TP's family, innit? Because I see him as a loyal brother, innit? So I'll say loyalty is family, innit? Because I've got people that are blood that are not loyal.
Subhanallah.
Get me? That I've knocked on doors and that kicked me out knowing that I was homeless. You know what I mean? So I see people like that, and then that's what made me wrote that.
How old were you when that happened?
I was a big man. I was like 20. I was when I was going through my little party stages. 25.
Subhanallah. No, Jazakallah for that. I mean, from my side, it's been very...
But it's a big mistake, though, sorry. I regret it. Every time youngsters ask me, what do you think about this? I say, you know what? This is the worst thing that I've ever done in my life. Allah gave me a beautiful skin. Alhamdulillah. For me to cover it with something. It's just like right now, me getting a rental from a car. I rented out a car. If I give that car back all scratched up and that, do you think that owner's going to be happy with it? This is not my body.
SubhanAllah.
So how would he be happy? Allah won't be happy with me doing that. So I'm happy what he's done. So that means I was not grateful for the skin Allah gave me. Because it was not beautiful enough for me. For me to write something on me.
The one who makes tawbah from something, a sin, it's been wiped away. It's no longer there. So, keep that in mind. Saying that, Guled, has been inspiration, akhi. Inspiration for me, inshallah. May Allah... As Abdul Latif mentioned, may Allah, inshallah, bless your work, your efforts. Inshallah, increase you in khair, inshallah. And wherever we can support you, let us know, inshallah. The community here, the masjid here, the brothers, the sisters, we're very open to assist and help. But please, inshallah, do join us again, inshallah.
Inshallah, definitely. It'll be an honor.
Inshallah.
I think lastly, I was just going to say, we always do is at the end, if you look back at yourself at a younger age, and you're at your age right now, say 15, 16, what is it that you would have said to yourself then that maybe whether you would have told yourself stay in the same lane and you become who you are today, or if there's certain things you would have told that person to say, you know what, stay away from to become a better person? What advice would you give to yourself at a younger age, at this moment of your life?
And this moment of life, you won't find yourself in the group. You'll find yourself by yourself. Don't think because you're around all your friends and stuff like that, don't think like you're going to end up elevating. You're not going to elevate. You're going to stay on the same level. So you need to come away from that, whatever environment you're around, go learn yourself as a person. And that's when you become more full. But all these people and all these distractions around you, you're not going to learn nothing from it. You know what I mean? Because he knows exactly what you know and how you're meant to grow.
100%.
So that's what I would say to our younger self and me.
That's it, man. Barakallah feek. That makes a lot of sense to me. Jazakumullah khair. I hope this was as insightful for you as it was for us. And inshallah, we will see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.